You're being manipulated right now, and you don't even know it. People are pulling your strings, controlling your emotions, directing your decisions, and you think it's all your idea. You think you're in control, but you're not. They know which buttons to push. They know what you want to hear. They know what you're afraid of. They know what makes you defensive, what makes you agree just to avoid conflict. And they use all of it against you, not because they're masterminds, but because you're predictable, you're reactive, you're so desperate to be liked, so afraid of being uncomfortable that you'll bend yourself into whatever shape gets you approval. And that makes you easy, too easy. If you're tired of being controlled by people who don't have your best interests at heart, then stay with this. Subscribe now if you're serious about becoming harder to manipulate, because what follows will show you exactly how they're controlling you and how to stop it. Let's begin. The reason you're easy to manipulate is simple. You care too much about what people think. You need approval. You need validation. You need to be liked. And the moment someone knows you need something from them, they have power over you. Watch how this works. Someone criticizes you and you immediately defend yourself. They didn't even need to be right. They just triggered your need to be seen as right. And now they're controlling the conversation, or someone gives you approval and you light up. You change your behavior to get more of it. You say things you don't believe, do things you don't want to do, compromise standards, all for that validation they're feeding you in controlled doses. This is manipulation, and you're making it effortless. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. But you've given outside people complete power over your mind. Someone says something and you react. Someone withholds approval and you scramble. Someone challenges you and you fold. The manipulator doesn't even need to be skilled. They just need to know your triggers. And you broadcast them constantly. Your need for approval, your fear of conflict, your desperation to be understood. You wear your weaknesses like signs saying, "Push here to control me." Epictetus taught that no one can hurt you without your permission, but you've given everyone permission to disturb you. You've made your peace dependent on external validation. You've handed control to anyone who wants to take it. They know that if they praise you, you'll do what they want. If they criticize you, you'll defend yourself and overcompensate. If they give you attention, you'll chase more. If they withdraw it, you'll panic and change to get it back. You're not hard to manipulate. You're automated. Push this button, get this reaction, every time. You don't respect yourself enough to have boundaries, to say no without explanation, to let people be wrong about you, to stand alone when needed. Instead, you explain, you justify, you try to convince them. You need them to understand, and in that need, you've already lost. Seneca observed that we suffer more from imagination than reality. Manipulators know this. They don't need to actually do anything to you. They just make you imagine consequences, what people will think, being rejected, being alone, being wrong, and you do the rest yourself. You avoid the imagined pain by complying. You change your behavior to prevent scenarios that were never going to happen. But most of what you're afraid of isn't real. Most people aren't thinking about you as much as you think. Most consequences you're avoiding aren't as severe as you imagine. Most disapproval wouldn't actually destroy you. You're being controlled by ghosts, by possibilities, and manipulators just point in that direction and watch you run straight into doing exactly what they want. So how do you stop being so easy to manipulate? You start by caring less about what people think. You can hear criticism without being destroyed by it. You can face disapproval without changing who you are. You can be misunderstood without desperately trying to correct it. You stop explaining yourself to people who haven't earned an explanation. You stop justifying your choices to people who have no stake in your life. You develop boundaries and enforce them without negotiation. When someone crosses a line, you don't explain why it exists. You don't argue about whether it's reasonable, you simply enforce it. You become comfortable with conflict. Most manipulation works because you'll do anything to avoid conflict. You'll compromise, fold, give in, just to keep the peace. But peace bought through constant surrender isn't peace, it's servitude. You stop being so predictable. When someone pushes your usual buttons and you don't react the way you always have, they lose their power. When they expect you to defend yourself and you don't, they're confused. When they expect you to chase their approval and you walk away instead, they're powerless. This doesn't mean you become cold. It means you become selective. You care about opinions of people you respect. You value approval of people who've earned it. But you stop giving everyone access to your emotional state. You become harder to manipulate by becoming more secure in yourself, by knowing what you stand for and standing for it regardless of who approves, by being the same person in private that you are in public. Most manipulators are lazy. They want easy targets, people who fold quickly, people who need approval so desperately they'll compromise anything. When you stop being that person, they move on. You stop being too easy to manipulate by making yourself expensive to control, by having boundaries that cost something to cross, by being willing to walk away, by not needing what they're offering. The person who needs nothing cannot be controlled by the promise of anything. The person who's comfortable with disapproval cannot be controlled by the withholding of approval. This is freedom. Not freedom from other people existing or having opinions, but freedom from being controlled by their opinions. This channel is for men who are done being easy to control. If you're tired of being manipulated, if you're ready to stop being so predictable, then the work starts now. Stop caring so much what people think. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. Stop avoiding conflict at any cost. Stop being so desperate to be liked. Start having boundaries. Start enforcing them. Start being comfortable with disapproval. Start becoming expensive to manipulate because you're too easy to manipulate. And that needs to change. Not because people are evil, but because you're giving them power they don't deserve. Take it back. Make yourself hard to control. Make yourself expensive to manipulate. Become the kind of man who cannot be moved by approval or disapproval, who stands where he stands because he's decided to stand there. That's strength, that's freedom, that's what it means to be impossible to manipulate. Stop being easy. Start being expensive.